Hello everybody, Happy New Year. Welcome to a Cherry on Top January YouTube hop, the first hop of the year. Today we are sharing a little bit about what inspires us to create. And for me, it's making pretty albums for my friends and family. I get a lot of joy in making things for others, and it's also my therapy. So today I'm going to share, I created this album for my sister last year. She had some spring pictures that I just loved, and I put this together for her, but it's just not finished. So then I went back and looked at her other photos she had before Natalie was born, and I thought, you know what, these are perfect. So I'm using my scraps from the Simple Stories Meadow Flowers collection. I had a lot of that on hand that I just kind of stashed away because I knew I was going to come back to this album. And so right now I am actually going to use the chipboard to frame the two 3x4 photos. And I'm trying to be careful because the glue can be a little messy and the pictures are a little small. So I got to make sure I can get them in there without making a huge mess. And then I'm going to cut the corners off so that they're not poking out. And then I'm going to do the same for the other picture. I like the Beacon adhesive glue. It's really strong and it's just really easy to work with. Just make sure you be careful because it can get kind of stringy, as you can see. So you kind of cut it off a little bit so it's not creating a web across your photos. And now I'm not really sure what I was going to do once I had that all down on the frame. But then I thought maybe I can mount two of these 6x8 papers together so that it's a little bit thicker. And then what I'm going to do is poke a hole through it and make an insert page for the album. And then a trick when you're lining up those papers, if you just line it up at the corner, one corner of the paper, and then smooth it out, you won't have any crooked papers when you're mounting two papers at the same time. And as you can see, I used another page as a template to punch a hole in there. And then I'm going to glue this down. And actually I'm going to use foam squares, foam strips, just so that it pops up off the page for a little bit more dimension, because I do like a chunky album. And then I'm just going to place it right there. This is going to be a pretty simple page because really I wanted the focus to be on those pictures. And right now I'm trying to figure out if I want to put anything in the center there or if I'm just going to leave it alone. So I'm pretty much just looking through my embellishments to see if I can find anything that I could use. Because you know I like to play with layers, and so I'm just looking through to see what I can use. And I was going to use the beautiful foam sticker, but it's a little too big, so I didn't do that. And then I like this little flower, so I'm going to glue that to the side of the frame. And then I was going to tuck some more chipboard behind it because I like layers, but I don't like how that looks. And what I should have done before I mounted the frame down was maybe add some more paper in the background. But I think it's going to be fine. So I'm going to add a few sparkly glitter enamel dots. They're so pretty. And that's it. And for this one, I'm going to use this chipboard frame to frame the two 3x4 pictures. I'm going to put it right behind this page. And I know the frame looks a little plain, but I'm going to layer it up with some foam stickers and chipboard, and it's going to look really nice once I'm finished. So this is a hard chipboard frame to put down because I'm using two pictures. I'm carefully trying to keep it all lined up before I place it down. See? And then I'm going to just glue the frame down. I really like those pictures. They're so cute. I hope my sister loves this album because I just absolutely enjoyed making it for her. She's got such a cute little family. Okay, so I like this little chipboard piece here. It's a little big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it across the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to glue it down. See, look at that. That's going to be so pretty. I just love it. And then you could do the same at the top, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to overdo it with this layout. I kind of want to keep it simple, but I also want to add layers to make it really pretty. And I love the little bumblebees, so I'm going to add some of those. And I'm going to glue those down. And then I need to find a sentiment also after I glue this down. The dragonflies are so pretty in this collection. And so I'm going to pop some more enamel dots there. And the glue on the bumblebees are still a little wet. So now's the time, if I'm going to add any more embellishments in there, I can move them around if I need to. And so I'm going to glue the heart down. And then look for something to put in there. And this moment is perfect. So the glue on the bees are still wet, so I was able to move them a little bit to make that work. And I just love it. Super simple, but really cute. I think this is a beautiful collection. I'm glad I didn't purge it because I really wanted to use it again. And the good news is there's a lot of it in the A Cherry on Top store. And when you go to the gallery, all the products that are used on these pages are going to be listed. So just click on the link in my YouTube channel and it'll take you right there. And you can just shop. Alright, so what I did was I cut this paper down to measure, let's see, 6 by 8, and I took a 1/2 inch off, so 5.5 by 7.5. Just so I can frame that paper, because I like to have a nice little border around my edges. I don't like the layouts to look too flat. And then I'm going to use these rubber ones to kind of fill in the white space on the photo using a bone folder. The rubber ones come with popsicle sticks. I find the bone folders are much easier to rub on the images, and then just make sure when you're pulling up that film strip you keep pressing down, that way you don't break the rubber one and it goes on smoothly. And you can layer these rubber ones together. They layer really nicely. So I'm just filling in the white space, and then I am very careful when I go to lift that because I noticed some of the images didn't transfer all the way, so I'm just going to press down and make sure it's on there. And then I love the butterflies, so I'm going to use a couple of those on here just to add dimension. But first I need to figure out what I'm going to do for the background because I need to add some more layers. And I love these little bits and pieces, so I'm going to use some of these and more butterflies. And so I'm just moving embellishments around to see what looks good. And I like this little book of flowers, but it's not going to work on here. I thought it would be a cool corner piece for the corner, but we're not doing that. Maybe another layout. So right now I'm just looking through. I needed a tag. This was from the cut apart sheet that comes in the collection kit. And I'm gonna add, I'm gonna cut this strip down just to add some more texture at the top there so it doesn't look too flat. And then once I was happy with the placement of everything, then I mount everything down. And I try to be careful so that everything is the way I wanted it. So that's why I'm not taking the layout apart. I'm trying to keep it all together. Alright, so then I'm going to glue this down. And we're just putting this together the way I had it. I'm just mounting everything down. And I decided to use the other side of that tag because it's prettier. And now I'm going to put the photo down now that everything's in place. You want to make sure everything's where you want it before you mount it, because that tape roll that I'm using for my cherry on top is really strong. Once it goes down, it's not coming back up. Alright, so I glued the butterflies, and I like to glue those down and pull the wings up just to add dimension. And I really like the Explorer rubber one. I'm going to use that for my title. And just really make sure you rub through those letters because it's so fine, those little letters. You don't want to break it. And it's so easy. Using a bone folder makes it so much easier. And then I'm going to use some string through the tag. And create a little bow at the top there. And then cut those off. And then I do like to staple the ends down so they don't move a whole lot. So I'm just going to staple those down just to keep it at the string nice and neat. And it looks really nice, so. And I added another little rubber one. As I said before, you can layer rubber ones together. And there's a little heart there. And now I'm using these little purple pearl hearts embellishments I got from Trinity Stamps because I really wanted to add a center piece to the butterfly to add more dimension. And I'm going to glue some of those down. And they're so pretty. And my sister, Jamie, she loves purple. So that's why I tried to use as much purple in this collection as possible. I'm not a big fan of purple, but she is, and that's what's important. Alright, so then I'm going to glue another smaller heart to the center. And it's just so pretty. I love how this is coming together. And there it is. So then I'm gonna put this in here. I'm thinking I'm gonna move the pages to the front because this is before Natalie was born. So I want it to be in the very beginning here. I'm going to pop that in there, pop the chipboard frames in there. See how nice that looks? And we are going to do one more layout. And this is going to be the last one for this album. And then the good thing about this is I can always create more pages later and pop them in there for her. I think I have just enough room for like 5 more layouts in that album. So right now I'm not sure what paper I want to use for the background. I thought the green would look nice, but then I didn't like how it looked with the purple. So we're going to go with the purple plaid paper, and then we're going to put that on the bottom there. And again, line the corner up and then slide that paper right across, and you won't have any problems with it being crooked. And then I like the journaling tag. So we're going to put that on the bottom, and I'm going to tilt it. And let's see, I love playing with the layers here. The flowers are so pretty. I'm just going to add some of those down here. And again, I'm not mounting anything down until I'm happy with the placement. And right now I'm really just going through all the embellishments to see what I want to use on here. I love the dragonflies, so we're going to use that. And that butterfly's a little too big, but the blue one will be fine. So we're going to use that. And I love the little wild and free banner, so I'm going to use that at the top there. And I'm probably going to pop those up with foam squares. And now I need another layer at the top. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do there. Alright. And then I'm going to add another tag. I really like to add tags to my layouts. They're just fun. And they really help fill in the white space and make it look nice. Alright, so now trying to see what else I want to use on the layout. And I love how these die cut packages have the images on the back, so I don't have to pull it all out. I can kind of get an idea of what's in there before I do anything. The bird cages, I was really looking at those because the album has bird cages, and I kind of wanted to pull that in, the album itself, but it was too big for the layout, and I decided not to do that. Although it's beautiful. It's a beautiful die cut, so I'll hold on to that later. Now I'm going to glue everything down because I think I'm pretty much happy with how this is looking. And then I'm adding a little bit of the green paper at the top there, just to add more layers there. And it's just coming together nicely. Alright, so I'm going to glue this back there. I'm going to put down the tag, and then once that's all in place, I'm going to put everything else down. So carefully, I'm gluing this down, trying not to make a mess as I'm doing that. Alright. And then I think I'm going to add a few more because I did spill those little hearts all over the place. So I am picking those up and just adding a few more on this page. And what I did was I added the glue to the little adhesive strip so that I can just add a little teeny bit of glue on that heart so I can put it down there because that glue comes out really thick. So I didn't want it to be too much there. Alright, so now I'm going to add the photo down here. Mount that in there. I love this. It's so pretty. The purple is pretty. I know it's not my favorite color, but it does look nice with these photos, so it's great. Alright, I'm going to put the wild and free down. And then I have another heart I found. And I'm going to glue that on the dragonfly just to add some dimension. Alright. And I'm trying not to put too much glue on there. Okay. So I think that's it for those little hearts. And I'm going to add, across the top I wasn't very happy with it. So then I thought, what am I going to do? I think I'm just going to use some washi tape. And so I'm going to add the dragonfly washi tape across the top there. And I'm going to add a little bit more purple washi to just create two different layers there. And then I'm going to add a little bit at the bottom so that it kind of pulls together nicely. And then I'm going to use the string through the tag. I don't like a tag without string. It just seems like it's missing something. So I'm going to add that on there, and that's it. There's 4 layouts that I'm adding to my album for my sister, and I hope she loves it. Be sure to check out what the team has made and listen to what inspires them to create. And if you like these pages, please give me a thumbs up and click on the link to shop for your next album. Take care.